All right, welcome. Today, we're diving into one of the hottest skills in the entire AI universe, prompt engineering. If you've ever wanted to go from just kind of playing with AI to actually making it do your bidding, solving real tough problems, well, you are in exactly the right place. Let's jump right in.
So how do you actually become an AI whisperer? I mean, really, how do you get past those kind of boring, generic answers and get an AI to, come up with a game-changing idea, or write perfect code, or analyze a mountain of data with pinpoint accuracy? Well, I'll tell you, it's not magic. It's a skill, and it's the key to unlocking what these incredible models can really do.
The official name for this whole thing, prompt engineering. And it's really this perfect blend of art and science, It's all about crafting the perfect instructions to get exactly what you want out of an AI. Think about it less like you're typing into a search bar and more like you're a movie director, right? You're not just shouting action. You're giving the AI the script, the backstory, the emotional context, the whole shebang. That's what turns a cool AI toy into a serious, powerful tool you can use for pretty much anything.
Okay, so where do we even start? Well, like any good craft, it all begins with your toolkit. Let's break down the core skills you're going to need to gear up for this journey.
And what's really interesting here is that it's not all about coding. Not at all. First up, you've got your technical foundations. Yeah, you got to understand the basics of how these large language models work, how they're basically just amazing prediction machines, and maybe a little Python to make your life easier. But then there's strategic design. This is the fun part. This is where you learn cool tricks like few-shot prompting, which is basically just showing the AI a couple of good examples before you ask your real question. It's like giving it a study guide. And finally, you absolutely need analytical rigor. You have to be able to look at the results and ask, is this actually good? Is it biased? That quality and fairness check is super, super important.
All right, so you've got the skills down. Now you need the right tools to actually do the work. Every craftsman needs a workshop, right? So let's check out the essential tools of the trade for a prompt engineer.
The whole process, from that first spark of an idea to a fully built-out complex workflow, is all handled by a stack of modern software. You might start out just messing around and brainstorming in something like the OpenAI Playground. But when you're ready to build something really powerful, you'll grab a framework like LangChain that lets you chain multiple prompts together. Like one prompt pulls out the key data, the next one summarizes it, and a third one turns it all into a beautiful report. And for the really big enterprise-level stuff, tools like PromptLayer are crucial for teams to manage and track like thousands of different prompts to see which ones are actually working.
Okay, skills, check. Tools, check. But how do you actually get from square one to being a pro? Well, you need a map. Let's walk through a step-by-step learning roadmap.
We can break this whole journey down into 3 pretty clear stages. First, at the beginner level, you're just focused on getting the fundamentals down, learning about AI, trying out some basic prompts. Then, as you move up to intermediate, that's when you'll start building your first simple apps and really figuring out how to measure if your prompts are any good. And finally, when you hit that advanced level, you're the maestro. You're orchestrating these complex workflows and solving the really tough problems, like making sure the AI's output is not just good, but consistently reliable and fair.
This really shows you the jump, doesn't it? From those first baby steps to taking giant leaps. A beginner project, that could be as simple as asking an AI to summarize a single page from a biology textbook to help you cram for a quiz. Super useful, right? But an expert is playing a whole different ballgame. They're building the system on the right. We're talking about an app that can automatically pull in 1,000 new scientific papers every single week, figure out which ones contradict each other, summarize the consensus, and then write up a report for a whole team of researchers. I mean, wow, that is the power of advanced prompt engineering.
But here's the secret sauce, okay? The tech skills and the fancy tools, they'll only take you so far. If you really want to be an expert, you have to develop a professional's mindset. This is what truly separates the good from the great.
The number one thing here is critical thinking. You can't just be a passive user. You have to be a detective. When the AI spits out something weird or just plain wrong, you've got to put on your detective hat and figure out why. Was my prompt too vague? Did I forget to tell it who the audience was? It's in troubleshooting those little details that you find the real breakthroughs. And next up, communication. Look, you can write the most brilliant, genius-level prompt in history, but if you can't explain why it matters to your team, it's basically useless. The best prompt engineers are actually amazing translators. They can take this complex AI stuff and explain exactly how it's going to solve a real problem for the company. That's a huge skill. And last but not least, and this one might be the most important, you have to be committed to learning constantly. The world of AI moves at like lightning speed. There are new models, new tools dropping what feels like every single week. The expert today has to be a student tomorrow. So staying curious, staying adaptable, that's not just a good idea, it's absolutely essential if you want to stick around.
So there you have it. The skills, the tools, the roadmap, and the mindset. You literally have the map to becoming a seriously effective AI whisperer. So really, there's only one question left to ask. What are you going to build first?